The parents of a toddler who was injured by a wolf at a Pennsylvania zoo are now facing criminal child endangerment charges. Police say they briefly walked away from their 1.5-year-old son and they were allegedly distracted by their phones. The toddler then wandered into the wolf exhibit at ZooAmerica in Hershey Park, and officials say thankfully that boy is okay. His injuries are minor. NBC News reporter Marquise Francis and NBC News legal analyst Misty Marris join me now. So, Marquise, first, let's just start with the details here. What happened at the zoo, and how have the parents responded now to facing these criminal charges?
Yeah, Vicky, a truly shocking series of events. According to police, this happened just before noon on Saturday at ZooAmerica. This unsupervised 17-month-old toddler got away from its parents and crawled under a wooden fence. And this was this kind of undisclosed, unauthorized area. Then it put its hand through a wolf enclosure, a metal fence, and that's when miraculously bystanders saw this happen and rescued the child. According to police, the child just has minor injuries, surface level injuries, and expected to be okay. But the big question is, where were the parents? And according to police, the Derry Township Police Department actually reviewed footage, and that's what they saw. The parents walked 25 to 30 feet away from the child to a bench nearby, and they allegedly were occupied on their phones, and that's when, of course, this incident occurred. And police have ID'd both of those parents as 43-year-old Carrie Sorter and 61-year-old Stephen J.B. Wilson. And now NBC News has reached out to both of those parents for comment, and we have not heard back thus far. But we do know later this month there will be a preliminary hearing to kind of sort all this out.
Well, so there is a video of this. So, Misty, the question is, does the DA have pretty strong evidence and a strong case that this was endangerment and not just an accident? I mean, like anybody who has kids knows, you can lose track of them for a couple moments here and there.
Yeah, so this is all about whether or not they can establish child endangerment. Did they act recklessly? And that timeline that we, is now we know that there is a video, that timeline's really going to matter. And it's really all based on an omission, right? It's not an act. That's the two ways to get to that reckless standard of endangerment, that it's an omission, the parent's failure to be with their child, to protect them from what would be a known risk. So those details, that video, that's really going to rule the day.
And that time period, Marquise, any idea how long it was that the child was alone?
The police did put out a statement, but they did not specifically lay out that timeline. That's information we're hoping to get in a few days.
Misty, what about the parents here? Do they potentially have a claim against Hershey Park for designing gates that a toddler can get through?
So this, I think, would be a central part to the defense, which is, that there's children here. How are there not enough protections to prohibit this from happening? And that could also lead to a civil lawsuit against Hershey Park. So you could see it working both ways in favor of the defense, but also being a whole other legal action. I think we're going to learn a lot at that preliminary hearing, because that's like a mini trial. Yeah. You get a lot of information and evidence that would be pertinent to those legal issues.
Wow. Well, thankfully, people were standing by and intervened. The kid is okay.
Amazing.
Yeah. All right. Marquise Francis, Misty Marris, thank you both very much. Appreciate it.